Mr. Webster.
Mr. Myers?
Can I get some coffee?
No, nothing at all, thanks.
Well, Mr. Webster, you were very mysterious on the phone. Tell me, what can I do for you?
Well, I'm here on behalf of Vicki Lang.
Vicki Lang. You say that as if I should know who she is.
Well, yes, I do, don't I? Vicki Lang. She was involved with the falsification of the papers that led to the collapse of the Canterbury complex. And for that, she is now serving a prison term at Lawing. I believe about 3 or 4 days ago, you visited her there for the purpose of harassment. Wonder if you could tell me why.
No, you have to hold on until Dr. Galvin gets back.
Where is she? I don't know if I can.
Lori, no, now listen to me. Lori, just blow.
I have to push!
Blow.
I
Lori,
can't!
Lori, listen to me. Blow. Like this.
Sorry I took so long. Where are we?
About 9 or 10 centimeters.
Dr. Galvin, thank God you're here.
You don't waste much time, do you?
They won't let me push.
They're just obeying orders, honey. Let's see how far along you are, and then you can push all you want. Where's Ben?
Yeah, he had an emergency at the clinic. We had him paged, but he hasn't shown up yet.
How long is this gonna take? How long? How much longer?
Lori, good. Blow.
Well, I can't even leave you for a minute.
If you leave this room one more time, I'm never gonna let you see this child.
I promise I'm staying right here.
You better run to the bathroom and put on your greens if you want to be part of this birth. This baby's not waiting much longer.
Okay.
Well, it certainly is a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee?
No, thanks.
You've spoken to Jean Redlon, haven't you?
Yes. You've been lying to him, Kate. I'd like to know why.
I resent being called a liar.
And I don't want to do it. But the point is, Jean Redlin came here and asked you some reasonable questions about your relationship with Lee Carruthers, and you refused to tell him the truth.
The truth? What is the truth in this situation?
That you and Lee are not going to be married, and that's a fact the public has a right to know.
The public? Is that all that matters here? I had a feeling it was for Jean Redlon and his career.
Now, you know very well that he didn't want to do the story, but his editor forced him to.
Ah, you bought that, did you? I gave you more credit.
Fortunately, Jean's motives are not the issue here.
Oh, I'm glad you can dismiss them so lightly.
The issue is your protection of Lee. At least I hope that this is what it's all about.
How can you think anything else?
I don't want to.
Well, don't. Any romantic involvement that I ever had with Lee is over. You know that.
Then why don't you tell the press that?
Because I can't. You know what I think is behind all this? Your pride. You can't stand the thought that the woman you're involved with is thought to be involved with someone else.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Then why can't you be satisfied with this? I mean, you know what's really going on. Why can't you let it go at that?
Because it's living a lie. And I've had enough of that for one lifetime.
You know what I've had enough of for one lifetime. Compromises. Both personally and professionally. Now, Lee and Sebastian have put me in the middle of a very big one. Because of a moment of poor judgment. But if I can play along here for a little longer, this may be the last compromise that I'll ever make. I want to see Lee Carruthers in Congress. Politically, he stands for everything that I think is vital to this state. It could be the first step of a very important career. This compromise that I'm involved with is achieving some good. That's what makes it worthwhile. Or at least bearable. If you can't understand that, then maybe it's better we end whatever it is that started between us.
Vicky Lang. Yeah, now I remember.
I kind of thought you would. Does that also mean you remember intimidating her and threatening her?
Those are strong accusations, Counselor.
Well, I have a statement from my client that that's just exactly what you did.
May I remind you that your client is currently serving time for lying?
No, Mr. Myers. My client is now serving time because she told the truth. She made a mistake, and her honesty drove her to confess it.
Would that be the same honesty that drove her to falsify the documents in the first place?
Now, the court's already taken care of all that. What I'm here today is to remind you that you're threatening to keep her in litigation for the rest of her life is not only poor jurisprudence, it's just downright laughable.
Oh, is it?
The court declares that she is already paying her debt to society by serving a prison term and lying. The law demands no more.
With all respect, Mr. Webster, yours is just one legal opinion.
As is yours, Mr. Myers.
That's true, true. And my one legal opinion is willing to bet that there's a good chance I can persuade a judge to see things my way.
And that's your right.
Indeed it is.
Mr. Myers, do I have to remind you that we're talking about a 24-year-old girl here with a limited earning potential? Now, it's true that she showed some pretty good managerial skills when she was at the Office of Planning and Development. But after a prison sentence, the best she's going to be able to get is a low-paying job. So I figured maybe after 30 or 40 years, if you squeeze the turnip dry, well, even then you wouldn't end up with enough money to cover legal expenses. So it makes me wonder, why would somebody go to so much trouble for so little?
Well, Mr. Webster, I'm going to have to let you in on a little secret. It's not Vicky Lang I'm after.
What in the world do you think you've got?
It's my belief that she sabotaged Prescott Development for someone else. Someone who could pay the kind of settlement I'm after. Someone who would profit from the downfall of Prescott Development. Another construction company, for example.
Well, you're serious, aren't you?
Oh, very. See, everything was uncovered in this case but her motive. She had no reason to do what she did. Now, I have a number of clients who lost a great deal of money because of her. And if my suspicions are correct, I can help them get a lot of that back.
Mr. Myers, I have a very sad story to tell you. Once upon a time, I guess it must have been a year and a half ago, this very same Vicky Lang that we're talking about fell in love with a rich, young, good-looking building contractor. Had a brief affair with him. She even broke off her engagement to another fella. Well, about that time, this young, good-looking building contractor kind of got tired of the relationship, so he ended it. Now, this made Miss Lang look and feel very foolish. So she swore to, and she got revenge. Such are the foolish passions of youth. Now, Mr. Myers, if you continue to pursue this, I can assure you, you'll end up looking a whole lot more foolish than she did. It's a nice office you got here.
Lee's election is that important to you that you'd put it before us?
I'm not putting it before us. You are. Isn't what we are? What we're trying to become stronger than all this? I'd like to think it is.
Obviously, I'd like to think it is too.
Please don't think that I don't respect and admire what you're trying to do. I know how difficult it is for you to assure your friends and associates that our love is genuine. With all the publicity with Lee and myself, I know how foolish it must make you look. For what it's worth, I respect and admire the strength it takes for you to do it.
Well, I guess I could live with it a little bit longer.
I will insist on a press release the minute Lee's candidacy is strong enough so that it won't be hurt by it.
But I want you to understand one thing. This is my contribution to us, not Lee's campaign.
Understood. And I'm sorry I made that remark about your pride.
Apology accepted.
How about an apology for you calling me a liar?
Well, you admitted that yourself.
Yes. I guess I did. I've never wanted this aspect of political life. The half-truths, the ambiguities. There are some people that thrive on this, but I've never been one of them. It's the service to others that's been important to me. I hope you believe that. And I hope that we can go on from here.
Of course I believe you. Hey, something I have to do before you get that.
I like your style.
Yes, but I do have to get going.
Wouldn't you like to stay for lunch?
Oh, yes, I'd like to, but Ben's at the clinic alone, or I don't even think he's there, so I have to get going.
Dinner tonight?
That sounds great. I have to check my schedule, but I'll get back to you.
Good.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello, Amber. Well, I was just on my way anyway. Talk to you later.
Goodbye. I hope this is a social call, Amber. With nothing more pressing to discuss than the weather. That's all I can take now.
Push. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Atta girl. Take a deep breath now.
Push. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Doing fine, Laura. You're doing just beautiful.
We're almost there. I can see the head.
Can you tell if it's a boy or a girl?
Well, if she can't, she'll be making medical history.
Well, I don't care what it is. I just want my baby. Oh!
Push. 2,
Good
3,
girl. That's it.
4, 5.
Nice to be told to shut up before you've even had a chance to say anything.
I am merely pointing out that I do not wish to be yelled at.
Neither do I. About our conversation yesterday.
You didn't call back. I naturally assumed that it was a false alarm.
You assumed wrong. I'm pregnant, Mother.
I see.
I see? Well, that's a classic response.
Oh, you'd prefer something else? All right. I'm disappointed with your carelessness, Amber.
Mother, I need your help.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was wrong of me. Come and sit down. What's done is done. Now this has to be dealt with rationally and maturely.
I wish I felt I was either of those things right now.
Well, I don't suppose it's any comfort for you to know that countless others have survived the same situation.
What about those that haven't?
Wouldn't be your style not to survive. When are you going to tell Gil?
I thought I made it clear yesterday that I'm not going to.
Yesterday, you didn't know for sure that you were carrying his child.
That doesn't make any difference.
Amber, he is the father. He does have some rights.
This is my body. I have all the rights.
But you are carrying around a part of him.
It is mine to do with as I see fit.
But what are you going to do when he does find out this? This does have a way of being obvious, you know.
Mother, do you really think I'm going to keep it?
I naturally assume that you can't abort the child, Amber.
You're joking.
No, I'm not.
This is the result of carelessness, as you put it so well. The carelessness of two people who never loved each other.
But it is a part of me. You can't.
I don't believe this. I'm getting this from someone who has politically supported a woman's right to choose. Didn't you fight for years to open the city's first abortion clinic?
I'm sorry. I can't help myself. This is my grandchild.
One more push. Wonderful. That's it. Is that it?
Yes, yes. It's a boy. Lauren, you got a son.
It's a boy.
Oh,
I have a little boy.
that is the greatest sound in the world.
What does he look like, Mom? Is he all right?
Sweetheart, he's beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for my little boy.
Would you like to cut the cord, Doctor?
I don't think I could at this point. Here.
Mom.
Easy. Mom, here. Mom. Easy. Easy, easy. Here.
There you go.
There you go, honey.
Oh, listen. Oh, listen.
Now listen, you're just gonna have to hold on for a second, and then we'll let you see him, okay?
I want to see him.
Congratulations, Mom.
Oh, Ben, I love you so much.
I was afraid this moment had never happened.
I know. We're parents. I don't even know how to be a parent.
Don't look at me.
Listen to him cry.
That's my boy.
It is the greatest sound in the whole world.
Would anybody like to hold baby?
Oh, I'm scared.
Oh, there's nothing to it. The kid does all the work.
He's beautiful.
Hey, kid. It's your mother. You're gonna be seeing a lot of her in the years to come, especially at night.
This is your father. You're going to see a lot of him, too. Especially when the diapers need changing.
Welcome to God's world, Scott Benjamin Martin. May your life be filled with peace and joy.
You're right. My reaction was wrong. It was a purely emotional one.
Thank you. I'm sure you'll understand, too, that I don't want it done in Kingsley. Frankly, I'm a little embarrassed about all of this. I'm very aware, thanks to you and Dave, that everything could go wrong. I realize, you know, that with legalization and all, that the nightmare of those backroom abortions are over, but I also realize that there are a lot of incompetents out there. I'd like for you to give me a referral, someone whom you personally would trust to do it.
No.
Why not?
As inappropriate as my reaction was, yours is even more so. The decision to abort is not one that should be made within hours of finding out that you're with child.
I am not with child. That term disgusts me.
And this decision is one that should not be made without the participation of the father.
Gil has no part in this.
There is one more condition. I will give you a name, but you have to tell Dave.
Dave?
Yes. Because he can give you the most constructive advice on this.
I don't want him to know about this. This is none of his business.
I think it is.
No. And I want you to promise me right now that you will not tell either him or Gil. Promise me, Mother.
I promise. To give you enough time to tell them yourself.
Scott Benjamin Martin. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for everything. I don't know if it's possible. I don't even know if it's important. But I hope you allowed my Scott to see his grandson. I know how happy it would have made him. And please, Lord, let this little boy be as strong, as loving, as blessed as his grandfather was.